There is a dimension beyond the mundane, a realm where the ordinary twists into the extraordinary, a place where shadows conceal secrets and the unexpected and bizarre lurk around every corner. Welcome to Pulp. I am Catherine Emsley, your host. Each episode I'll bring you a chilling tale about the things we don't notice, but which are very much there, waiting to be discovered. So step into the unknown and let your imagination run wild. The walls are closing in on me, a crushing weight. The skeletal lamp with a tacky tassel-lined shade stands in the corner, casting grotesque shadows on the diseased wallpaper. This grimy, charge-by-the-hour room is making my skin itch. I bet it's got roaches, probably bedbugs too. Oh, I shudder. I don't want to think about what these walls have seen or heard. Imagine the imprint left on them. It's all I could get, digging under couch cushions, looking for a few forgotten coins. I feel like a peasant in my own home. It smells like a blend of decaying dreams, stale sex and cigarettes in here. The shadows dance on the walls to the beat of the flashing neon sign across the street, advertising a buffet meal with a side order of dancing girls, girls, girls. Nice hood. The city's a noisy place, horns honking, people rushing, and then there's that constant banging of the headboard from the next door room. Sounds like someone's getting a good old bang for their buck. I slump down on the stained sofa and take a drag of a menthol. The smoke curls and crawls across the room towards the open window. For a second, I want to follow it, leap down the fire escape and run for my dear life. You know those things will kill you, right? Ugh. I close my eyes as I sigh, my clenched jaw making my irritation clear. What you want, Ivy? I spit out at the blonde teen dressed in an outfit mature beyond her years. A little red and black skirt with a white loose-fitting silk blouse, top button undone, showing just enough cleavage to catch your attention. The manipulative little thirst trap doesn't speak. I know she's not real, of course, though her image is so clear it's almost tangible. She haunts me as a spectral Drew Barrymore cast in the role of the manipulative, dangerous vixen. A modern-day poison ivy, her words as toxic as her namesake's venom. She leaves a trail of destruction in her wake, and yet, as a girl, I craved her power. I wanted to command attention, to bend others to my will. But now, I'm trapped in her shadow, a ghost in my own life. Don't ask me, purrs the vixen. You made me. Confusion etches itself on my face as I tilt my head. Made you? You showed up uninvited. Her lips curl into a predatory smirk. Oh, come now, she taunts, gliding across the room like a panther. I'm here for you. A surge of frustration boils up within me. I came here to escape you, I protest, my voice laced with desperation. Her eyes glint with amusement. And yet, here I am, she replies, her tone soft and playful. I glare at her, trying to piece together this surreal puzzle. Confusion, terror, and irritation war within me. She invades my life at whim, an unwelcome spectre haunting my days. 2 weeks of this madness. I inhale deeply on the menthol cigarette, the icy smoke a feeble attempt to quell the panic in my chest. Lucid dream? Ghost? Or a twisted figment of my overactive imagination? Ivy is a parasite feeding on my fear and confusion. The more I panic, the stronger her grip. It's a vicious cycle. I'm becoming a shadow of myself. What do you want, Ivy? I demand, my voice a hoarse whisper. A smug smile creeps across her face. She saunters to the armchair, her long legs encased in deadly red stilettos, padding rhythmically on the worn carpet. The scent of jasmine wafts towards me, a heady and intoxicating perfume. Please, I plead, my voice trembling. Tell me what you want. I can't do this anymore. Just tell me what I have to do. She ignites a cigarette, the flame illuminating her face. The acrid scent fills the room, mixing with the stale air. She inhales deeply, holding the smoke captive, before releasing it in a slow, deliberate rings. I'm trapped in a suffocating fog of confusion and fear. Please, Ivy, why are you here? I plead. Her gaze locks onto mine, her eyes cold and predatory. The seductive veneer has cracked, revealing a sinister core. You have no choice, you know, she says, her eyes boring into mine. Something about her tone makes the hair on the back of my neck stand up. He's going to kill you, Ivy insists, her voice a chilling whisper. A shiver runs down my spine as her gaze pierces through me. The bruises, the broken bones, the threats, they're pieces of a puzzle he's assembling, slowly but surely. You're a discarded puzzle piece to him, Marcy. Her words, like an icy daggers exposing the truth I've been desperately trying to ignore. He loves me, I choke out, my voice barely a whisper. Ivy's rage erupts, transforming her from seductress to fury. She towers over me, her eyes blazing. I'm drawn to her, even in her anger, a moth to a flame. I don't understand the pull, the inexplicable connection. He's going to end your life, she snarls, her voice low and menacing. He'll crush you like a bug. Is that what you want? My heart pounds in my ears as I try to process her words. The seductive facade has shattered, revealing a terrifying predator. She leans forward, her breath hot against my face. Either you do something about it, or... Her voice trails off, leaving a chilling silence. This is the closest I've ever been to her. Her breath, warm and inviting, mingles with the stale cigarette smoke. She smells like jasmine. Is she real? A ghost? A figment of my panic-stricken mind? Panic surges through me. Or, I whisper, my voice barely audible. She straightens, her posture commanding. Or you let me handle it. The world outside fades into a muffled hum. Her words echo in my mind. Deal with him, she repeats, as if stating the obvious. But how? The question hangs heavy in the air. Ivy's gaze is fixed on me, a cold steel intensity in her eyes. The silence stretches, a taut elastic band threatening to snap. I know what she's implying, but the words are a chasm I'm afraid to cross. You want me to kill him? I whisper, my voice barely audible. A ghost of a smile creeps onto her lips, a chilling confirmation. I can't, I protest, my voice rising. He's my husband. Can't? Or won't? She challenges. I'm not a murderer, I insist, my voice trembling. She lights another cigarette, the familiar orange glow illuminating her face. He took out a life insurance policy on you, she reveals, her voice flat. My mind races. A life insurance policy? On me? That's absurd. But the doubt creeps in. "Why do you think I'm here?" she asks, her voice low. "To protect me," I say, my voice barely a whisper. "Exactly," she replies, her eyes holding mine. "I'm here to protect you, Marcy, because deep down you know you can't protect yourself. You're in danger, and I'm not just a figment of your imagination, a hologram of your fears. I am real." "How did she know I was thinking that?" "Because I'm you," she says, her voice a chilling whisper. "I know what you're thinking, because I am you." "But you're so—" I stammer, searching for the right words. "Real?" she finishes, her voice laced with amusement. She leans in, our faces mere inches apart. Her eyes, a mesmerizing shade of green, hold mine captive. I can smell the faintest hint of cherry, a tantalizing contrast to the cigarette smoke. A wave of desire washes over me, unexpected and overwhelming. How can I be attracted to a figment of my imagination? "Why am I attracted to you?" I demand, my voice trembling. "Because I'm you," she repeats, her voice softer now. "Or rather, I'm the you you used to be. Young, vibrant, fearless. Remember her?" A flood of memories washes over me. The girl I once was, confident and full of life. That girl seems like a distant memory. "I'm not attracted to you. I just want her back," I realize, a cold clarity settling over me. "So, Marcy," she says, her voice returning to the earlier coldness, "what do you want to do? You want to deal with this yourself, or shall I do it?" I think about the girl I was, a vibrant spark ready to ignite the world. That girl is buried beneath layers of doubt and despair. I long to resurrect her, to give her the life she deserved. She died slowly, a victim of his calculated cruelty. It started with isolation, a carefully constructed prison with him as the warden. The city, once a promised land of adventure, became a gilded cage. Financial control was his next weapon, every purchase a battleground. My spirit withered under the constant scrutiny. He molded me into a shadow of myself, a malleable lump of clay at his mercy. The abuse was a slow-burning fire, consuming my spirit long before it touched my body. The emotional torment was a silent assassin, eroding my self-worth from within. Physical pain was a stark contrast, a jarring interruption to the relentless psychological warfare. A simple mistake, a slightly burnt shirt from ironing, became a catalyst for violence. His words, like icy daggers, pierced my heart. "Pathetic," he spat, his contempt a palpable force. The slap was a physical manifestation of his control. As I lay on the floor, tears streaming down my face, a cold realization washed over me. I was trapped. That night he sat in the living room, a solitary island surrounded by empty bottles. I was left to grapple with the shattered pieces of my reality. It was then that Ivy first appeared, a glimmer of hope in the darkness. I look up at Ivy, my mind racing. She knows my darkest fears, my deepest secrets. I'm a naked soul before her. The thought of confronting my abuser is paralyzing. I'm a gentle soul, a creature of peace. Murder is a foreign concept, as alien to me as space travel. He absolutely will, Ivy confirms, her voice a chilling certainty. You're no match for him. Her touch is surprisingly gentle, a stark contrast to the storm raging within me. You don't need to do it, she says, her voice soft. We're a team. A glimmer of hope, a dangerous proposition, but the alternative is unimaginable. But how? I managed to croak out. How could she possibly inhabit my body? It's a preposterous concept. You need to let me in, she says, her voice low and insistent. We share the same space, Marcy. Right now, you're in control. But to defeat him, you need to give me the reins. A cold dread creeps into my heart. Give her control of my body? It's a terrifying proposition. But the alternative is even worse. How can she ask this of me? To surrender control of my body? It's a grotesque proposition. Panic surges through me, a tidal wave of fear threatening to consume me. I inhale deeply, the acrid taste of smoke bitter on my tongue. I'm not asking for it permanently, Marcy, Ivy reassures me, her voice laced with an odd kind of tenderness. Just long enough to do what needs to be done. You want to use my body to kill him? I whisper, disbelief and horror warring within me. I will, she replies, her voice unwavering, and then I'll be gone. The absurdity of the situation is almost comical. I, a mild-mannered woman, harboring a murderous alter ego. It's a twisted nightmare. But how? I question, my voice trembling. That idea is so absurd, so terrifying. How can I possibly relinquish control? You need to trust me, Ivy responds, her voice gentle but firm. I won't hurt you. I'll show you what it's like. A wave of nausea washes over me. To surrender my body to another being, even a part of myself, is a terrifying prospect. Yet the thought of facing my abuser alone is equally terrifying. I need time, I manage to say. Ivy's hand remains on my cheek, a comforting touch amidst the chaos in my mind. Of course, she says. Take all the time you need. If anything happens, just call my name, Ivy assures me, her voice a soothing balm. A sense of calm washes over me, despite the rapid thump of my heart against my ribs. So, she prompts, her eyes holding mine. I nod slowly, a mix of fear and fascination coursing through me. Okay, I whisper, my voice barely audible. Her hands envelop mine, warm and comforting. Look into my eyes, she instructs. I focus on her gaze, a swirling vortex of green. The world begins to fade, replaced by the soft glow of her irises. The sound of the city dwindles to a distant hum, like waves crashing in a distant shore. A gentle warmth spreads through my body, a comforting cocoon against the encroaching chill of fear. I feel a deep inhalation, as if the world is taking a breath, and with it, so do I. Close your eyes, Ivy instructs, her voice a soft whisper. I obey, surrendering to the darkness. A sense of peace washes over me, a tranquil oasis in the storm of my mind. The ache in my jaw, a constant reminder of my powerlessness, fades into oblivion. Open your eyes, she commands. I snap them open, the world tilting on its axis. Staring back at me is my own reflection, a perfect, flawless replica. My heart pounds in my ears as I take in the surreal sight. I'm looking at myself from a different perspective, a voyeur in my own life. I look down at our hands that are still enveloped in each other. My hands have transformed into young, flawless, soft hands of someone much younger than myself. I touch my hair, pulling some forward, and notice the golden, luscious locks, a far cry from the dry, brittle mahogany of my own hair. A cold dread creeps into my heart as I realize the full implications of what has just happened. Oh my God, I gasp, my voice barely a whisper. This isn't real. It can't be real. I'm looking at myself, a carbon copy of myself, of me, sitting across from me. My mind races, trying to comprehend the impossible. It's okay, she says, her voice calm amidst the chaos swirling inside me. You're perfectly safe. I'm not safe. This is a nightmare, a twisted, surreal nightmare. I'm her, or she's me. Or maybe we're something entirely different. How did you do that? I managed to croak out, my voice trembling. Does it matter? She says as she stands up, her movements fluid and purposeful. She picks up my purse and slings it over her shoulder, transforming into a confident, almost predatory figure. What are you doing? I question her, my voice rising in panic. I'm going to handle things, she says, her voice laced with a chilling determination. I am in charge now, Marcy, and you are safe. He can't hurt you anymore. He will never hurt you again. He will never hurt me again. I am going to see to it that he can never lay a finger on anyone, ever again. A cold dread surges in my stomach. I know what she's planning. This isn't the woman I know, the woman I've lived with for the last few weeks. This is something else entirely. A darker, more dangerous version of her, and I'm terrified. Wait! I cry out, my voice a desperate plea. I lunge forward, but an invisible force repels me, slamming me back against the wall. A sharp pain shoots through my body as I hit the hard surface. What the hell? I gasp, disoriented and terrified. The world spins as I try to make sense of what's happening. I'm trapped, a prisoner in my own mind, my own body. The sound of her footsteps fades, replaced by the deafening silence of the room. Panic sets in as I realize the full extent of my imprisonment. Please, don't do this, I call after her, a panic-stricken shock. Don't leave me here. As long as you stay here, Marcy, you will be safe. I am in charge now. I make the decisions now, and I am going to make things right. This isn't how our life was supposed to turn out. You should never have been in charge. You're weak. I love you, but you're weak. So as long as I keep you here, in this room, you will be safe. Don't worry, Marcy. I'll make everything better. I'll fix everything. She turns and walks down the corridor. Her figure disappears around the corner, and her footsteps fade. I slide down the wall, my knees buckling beneath me. A cold sweat breaks out as the reality of my situation sinks in. I'm alone, utterly and completely alone. What happened? What the fuck just happened? I look back into the room, this disgusting, horrible little cheap hotel room with a flashing neon sign and the shitty old lamp in the corner. I look back at the doorway, the one I can't walk through, and it dawns on me. I'm stuck here. Bam, bam, bam. The banging of the headboard from the room next door starts again. If you enjoyed this episode and want to support the podcast, please subscribe, share, and leave a review. Your support means the world to me and will help me to keep this podcast going. So until next time, cheers.